Hi, everyone. Welcome to Global Community and Connections, part of the Ford Family Travels diary of our global nomad journey. I'm Emerald. I get the opportunity to build some really cool connections with folks across the globe as we continue to travel through Asia and wherever else life takes us. Today, I am going to be speaking with somebody who I officially met here in Seoul, but is American, and we're going to talk a little bit about our connection, how we got to be in one another's lives, and what this looks like. So first, I'm going to say, let's pan over to my friend Jakara. I'm going to let her introduce herself in a quick moment. So Jakara, I just would love it if you could tell people who you are, where you're from, and what brought you to Seoul before we kind of get into some of the other questions.
Hi everyone, my name is Jakara Easton. I am from Washington, D.C. And what brought me to Seoul is just an interest in Korean culture. It started from just a single song from BTS, and it evolved into this beautiful journey that I'm on now of learning culture, food, language, and all the things. So really excited to be able to immerse myself in the culture, especially with Emerald and her family, and learn a little bit as they go through their journey as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So I'm wondering if you can just tell me a little bit about, like, why did we connect? Why are you and I connected in this way right now?
It's super interesting how, as I started the journey of learning more about Korean culture and how many friends that has brought me along the way, or how many people who have already been in my life that in the degrees of separation know somebody who is interested in the same thing. So that's the beauty of the connections that the Korean culture has brought me, even in America. So we got connected through my sister, who you guys used to work together. And once I started getting more into K-pop and K-dramas and all this stuff and started talking about how I wanted to go to Seoul, my sister was like, you have to meet Emerald. And that was really special to me because not a lot of people around me, my friends included, like the things that I like when it comes to Korean culture. So to have somebody who my sister knew and trusted, it was like, if you want to learn more, you need to, meet Emerald and travel with her. So that's how we got connected.
So why do you feel like this is a special thing? And I have some thoughts on it, but I'd love to hear from you, and I might just kind of like fill in some of the blanks because I think we are probably very singular minded and why this is like, oh, this is real cool for a lot of reasons. But I'd like to hear why this connection feels special and important. Yeah.
I was talking to you earlier, I think, about this, about how it's really great to meet someone who shares the same interests as me, especially when it's something that's not common. I think a lot of times in America and also in Black spaces, you get told what you can and cannot listen to, what you can and cannot be, and anything that steps outside of that box questions your Blackness. So, especially for me, learning about K-pop and K-dramas later in life, after I already, 25, 26, 27, I think a lot of people around me were put me in a box of like, okay, this is what you like this and this. So when I started branching out to learn more about different cultures, it was kind of like, now we have a problem.
Yeah.
So to find somebody in you who, not only are we learning more about each other, we're learning about each other in this space and in this city that we like. And I think what's also so special is that you taught me that even in other cultures, you can still maintain your Blackness. And I appreciate that. Even the conversations we're having in Korea about what it means to be Black, I think that's special too. Two things can exist at the same time. I can be Black and I can also learn about other cultures and be okay with that. So that's why I think this is really special.
I knew that you were going to say something very similar to that because that's how I understand it too. It's this idea of, like you said, othering in Black culture. When you like something that seems like it steps outside of what's expected, and then it can feel really isolating and ostracizing. And so being able to find that in somebody else, so we have like these very similar reference points where we talk about maybe like hip hop culture in a moment, and then we're able to make that kind of that thread through of what that means in K-pop. And I don't get that with a lot of people either. So that does make this feel really interesting, really special. I appreciate that so much. What is your larger understanding of why it is important to build global connection and community?
when you travel and you start meeting people, you realize people are more alike than they are different. And that transcends where you are, where you live, who you hang out with. And I think people can oftentimes get very boxed in into their neighborhood, their, what people look like on their street. And the more you travel, the more you get out there, you realize there's such a big world out there, and it could feel big and it could feel vast and overwhelming until you make small connections like you here in Seoul, or like if I travel somewhere else in the Caribbean and know somebody there, it makes this big world just a little bit more smaller and tangible to have those, deeper connections. So that's why I think it's important.
Yeah, and it's recognized. I think you said something that people don't oftentimes understand until they travel. It's this idea of like, we do have more in common than we think. It doesn't matter that we are 3,500, 5,500 miles away from home. We still have, there's so much in common with somebody on the street. When I get up on the subway to offer up a seat to an older woman, she appreciates that the same way somebody would at home, right? And it's this understanding of one another's humanity across lines of difference. I love that. Thank you. I just want to ask a couple of questions. I really appreciate you being willing to explore this with me, for trusting me and coming out to Seoul and to South Korea with me. And thanks for answering those questions. Anything you wanna give your Instagram, how you want to promote yourself for everybody?
Oh, you know what? I'm not going to promote myself, but what I am going to say is that you guys should stay tuned and just follow the Ford family through their travels, because you'll get to learn so much. And I think that's the great thing about what you're doing is not only am I learning more about this city, I'm also learning through your family too, and having that sense of like, I'm not alone in this big space. So I encourage everyone to just stay tuned and see what more you guys have.
Awesome. Stay tuned, y'all. Bye.